Chidambaram. ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை சிறுவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிட்டம்பரம். பூழியர்கோன் பொழித்த புகழியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி வாழி திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிட்டம்பரம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக நம்முடைய அன்பிற்கும் போற்றுதலுக்கும் உரிய கத்தார் அன்பர்கள் மிஸ்ஸஸ் அண்ட் மிஸ்டர் சரவணன் அவர்களுடைய நல்ல ஆதரவின் பெயரில் நாம் தொடர்ந்து ஆங்கில உரை த ஹோலி டெய்டிஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் செய்திகளை நாம் பகிர்ந்து கொண்டு வருகிறோம். In the last few sessions we have been discussing about the installation and the actual prayer offering to Shivalinga, which is the formless form of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has come down to grace the souls, to uplift the souls, to liberate the souls from the sufferings and miseries. The souls cannot go up to the level of the Almighty, so that God has to come down to the level of the souls so that they can get the benefit of its mercy. So God has come down to a level of form. As a matter of fact, form is in three different forms: formless, formless form, and then form. This form is called Maheshwara Murtangal. That is Ishwara Murtangal. That is, we can see by our eyes. As a matter of fact, all these forms are worshipped or made darshan by our saints. They have only described the details of the form. Otherwise, common man cannot see a form of God with his naked eyes. Only the graced people, the devotees who are all blessed by the Almighty, they will have a version or they will have a darshan of the Lord Almighty, and by their vision they were able to describe what they have seen. For example, at the bank of the tank in Sirhari, Swabhadi Hirdayar, he went to the temple for making a dip in the holy tank and also chanting the mantras when he is doing the dip in the tank. Along with him, he took his 3.5 years old child and keeping him on the banks, he went into the tank and immersed into it. But at the time, the child, on not seeing his father, cried in view of security and safety. But somehow or other, due to the grace of Lord Shiva appeared along with his spouse, Goddess Shakti, and they took the child in their hands and pacified and also fed the jnana milk. So the child was blessed. The child was blessed. Now the child is not anymore the child of Siva the Irdiyar. It is the child of God now. So it started viewing the world, and it has understood why it had come to this world, why it has been sent by the Lord Shiva, and it was joyful. On completing the dip, Siva the Irdiyar came to the bank and saw the milk dripping down from the mouth of his child, and he asked him, "Who gave you the milk?" Now the child was able to see the Lord, who was still there with his spouse, and he told his father that he only gave the milk. Here the child, Triyana Sambandhar, described the details of Lord Shiva. Of course, Siva the Irdiyar was not able to visualize. He didn't see. He was not able to see. But Jnanasambandhar had the darshan, and he described Todudaya Sevigan Vidayeri. He can see the ear with his earring. With the earring, he can see the ear of the Lord Shiva. As a matter of fact, it belongs to Goddess Shakti. Todudaya Sevigan Vidayeri. His vehicle, the bull. Ortuvan Madisudi. He was having the crescent on his pith, on top of his pith. He was able to see, give all these details. Todudaya Sevigan Vidayeri Ortuvan Madisudi Kadudaya Sudalai Padipu. He has applied holy ash all over his body. He was able to see that. He was able to explain it. But Siva the Irdiyar was not able to visualize. Likewise, we have seen the details of God, Maheshwara Murtangal, which we may not be able to see, but the details are visualized, darshaned by our ancestors. So, by our saints, by our gurus, they were able to see, and they were able to describe, and they were able to give the details of the darshan. So, likewise, we were able to get the paintings, sculptures, and all other details of the deities only out of the details furnished by the saints who were able to visualize, who were able to have a darshan of the God. So, all the details of the form are not fictitious. You must understand that those things are not imaginary or illusion. They were the original things. Our saints were able to visualize, see, and they have explained to us. So, God has taken form, God has taken formless state also, and in between He is having formless form. That is called Shivalingam. But Shivalingam is the main deity of Lord Shiva in all the temples. Almost all the temples have the main primary deity as Lord Shivalingam. Shivalingam we have been discussing, and we have been discussing in the last few sessions about the details of the Shivalingam. The bottom, the base, and the pedestal, all these details we were able to describe and explain. Now, even though in all the temples you can go and see the main deity, the primary deity, that is called Moolavar as Shivalingam. Wherever you go, you may go to any Shiva temple, the Moolavar will be only Shivalingam, only Shivalingam. Except Chidambaram. Chidambaram, the main deity is Natarajar, Maheshwara, Mutham. Of course, they claim it is above the Maheshwara Mutham. It cannot be compared to Nataraja in all other temples. It is a special Nataraja that has been found in Chidambaram. Okay, we'll come to that later. So, as a matter of fact, wherever you find a Shiva temple, wherever you go to a Shiva temple, there you can see the main deity, the primary deity as Lord Shivalingam. Shivalingam, of course, even though they have installed Shivalingam in all the temples, but can we claim that all these Shivalingam are alike? No. Even though they look alike, they may be looking alike. In size they may vary. Smaller one, bigger one, the bottom, that is the main part of the Shivalingam called the bottom. It may be longer, broader. So the size may be different, but the shape, the ultimate shape doesn't change at all. The base, sometimes you may find a square or circular. It depends upon the temple that is being installed. So let us say that whenever you go to a temple, you may find Maheshwara Murtangal all over the temple in praharams, but once you go to the koil, that is the Karpagraham. Karpagraham is called the koil. The entire complex is called Alayam. Alayam is different from koil. Koil is within the Alayam. You understand? In some places, Alayam will be having 5 praharams. In 5, the total complex, it may have 5 praharams. Praharam means the encircling area. Okay, now whenever we go to a temple, we are very much interested. We must be offering our prayers. We must offer our main prayers by leaning down on the floor, by lying down on the floor. All these worships should be done only to the primary deity. Only on completion of that, the other deities will be taken into prayers by the Shivacharya. The priest will first of all complete the puja only for the main deity. That you must have witnessed in a lot of temples. So as I have already told you, the Shivalingams in all the temples may look alike, but they are not alike. They are entirely different. The power or the way in which it has to be offered prayers, the way in which the pujas have to be performed, they all vary, of course. That is why 5 broad classifications of the temple, Shiva's temple, 5 important temples have been taken very primary temples of Saivas. The Saivas will visit these temples bearing in their mind that to what category this temple is belonging to. We understand the whole life is made up of 5 elements, the whole Prapancham, the whole world. You take any material, take anything, or take your body even. They have been made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, and then air, and then Akash, the space. These 5 put together in different proportions, so many things have been evolved in this world. take any material in this world, it will be composing only with these 5 elements to a different proportions. If you take, for example, the body, the human body, 77% is water. We may not believe it. We may not believe it. But water is the major portion of the body, physical body. Okay. Now likewise, the 5 elements, in Tamil they say Nilam, Neer, Thi, Kaatru, Agayam. Likewise, it starts from the earth, water. So to signify the 5 elements, all these 5 elements are ruled or under the control of Lord Shiva. As a matter of fact, we will claim that the personification of Lord Shiva can be viewed as the 5 elements independently. For example, he takes the form of earth, he takes the form of water, he takes the form of fire, he takes the form of wind, he takes the form of space. Attamurtam, they will be saying, Attamurtam, 5 elements, sun, moon and the soul. The God takes the form of all these 8 things. The soul is also one of the form of Lord Shiva, because within the soul, Lord Shiva resides, dwells and activates. So without anuvukkul anuvai, anuvirkul anuvai. Anu means, doesn't mean atom. In Tamil, if you say anu, it may also mean atom, but it is not atom here. Anu means the Anma, the soul has diminished size. Its nature is spread over. So if you put the soul inside the body, it will spread over within the body, and wherever you touch, you can feel the soul. Touch your face, the soul is there. Touch your shoulder, soul is there. Soul has completely occupied the entire body without leaving any space. So, what we claim now is, out of the 5 elements, Nelam, Neer, Thi, Kaatru, Agayam, that is the earth, water, fire and wind and space, all these 5 forms are all called 5 forms of Lord Shiva itself. So, instead of praying the 5 elements, the ancient people before development, they were praying, they were offering the prayers to the Bhumi, Bhuma Devi, earth. They will be offering the prayers to the water, the rivers. They will be offering the prayers to the Agni. They will be offering the prayers to the air. So likewise they will be, they had been offering the prayers to all these 5 elements, but we must understand that they are not animated. They are all inanimated. Is it not? Jada Shakti. So we must understand who drives all these things, who commands all these 5 elements. Even though these 5 elements are here, you understand that there is a control over all these 5 elements. If you see the sun, if you see the moon, they go on particular orbits, prescribed orbits. They never change the orbits. They never change the orbits. They are going on circling, coming round on the same orbit. If they change the orbit, it will be a periodical change. It will come back into its original position after some time, a prescribed time. So, instead of offering prayers to the inanimated thing, understanding that earth by itself, water by itself, fire by itself cannot be worshipped as a power, but whereas we must look upon the Almighty as the God of fire, God of water, God of earth, Varnan, Vayu, Agni. Just understand. So all these people, all these gods or all these devas, they have been under the control of Lord Shiva. As a matter of fact, they are under the control of Lord Indiran. Indiran in turn is under the control of Brahma. Brahma is under the control of Thirumal. Thirumal is under the control of Urudran. Urudran is under the control of Maheswaran. Maheswaran is under the control of Lord Sadashiva. You understand? The hierarchy you must be able to understand. So altogether, what I am deriving is all these elements, 5 elements, the basic elements, earth, water, fire, they are not to be worshipped separately, but we must worship them in its capital form. What I mean by that is, the earth is ruled by Lord Shiva. So, as a Lord of earth, we worship Lord Shiva. As a Lord of water, we worship Lord Shiva. As a Lord of fire, we worship Lord Shiva. As a Lord of wind, we worship Lord Shiva. As a Lord of space, we worship Lord Shiva. So likewise, the ancestors, instead of offering your praise directly to the elements, people who are following Saivam, the real Saivas, they will never offer their prayers or perform their puja to any deity other than Lord Shiva. If you want to thank the earth, thank through him. You must thank him. Is it that? See, if you want to thank what you have understood from the book, you must thank not the book, the author you have to thank. Is it not? If you want to thank the contents of the book has given me so many contents, so many things it has taught to me. So I have to thank the book. No, it's not the right way. You must thank the author of the book. Likewise, if you want to thank the earth, you thank the controller of earth, the God of earth, the ultimate God of earth. There may be intermediate officers. Don't worry about them. The ultimate authority, God Shiva. So, you are reaping out so many benefits out of this earth. You are getting so many things out of the earth. As a matter of fact, you are running over it, standing on it, walking over it, lying on it. So many things you are doing on it without noticing that all these activities are made possible only by the earth. Suppose if it gives way, if it does not support you, what can you do on this earth? Lot of things have been made possible only by the earth. Thiruvalur nicely says, அகழ்வாரை தாங்கும் நிலம்போல தம்மை இகழ்வார் பொறுத்தல் தலை. See, the land supports. Okay. First of all, the first benefit I told you. You are getting so many grains, eatables, out of what? Only from this land. Should you not thank the land? Because it quenches your hungry. If you are hungry, where do you get the food? Only from the land, is it not? So, where do you get the water? You dig well, you get the water. Not only water, you get so many metals out of the earth, so many things out of the earth. Take for example your house. How do you build your house? Starting from the earth. Is it not? So many things. If you want to thank the earth, whom to be thanked? Is the earth to be thanked? No. Is the book to be thanked? No, the author. Likewise, go and worship Lord Shiva, who has given you this earth and made it useful to you. Where can we go and pray Lord Shiva for his contribution, for his grace? Go to Tiruvarur, go to Kanchi. That is called Mantalam. This is Kanchipuram, Ekambareswarar. This is the Mantalam. Is it not? What do you mean by Mantalam? See, the tree, the mango tree is the tree for Ekambareswarar temple. He is called Ekambaram. Ambaram means mango tree. Ambaram, Ekambaram, a single mango tree. So Lord Shiva is there. He is called, that is called Nelam. Similarly, we have another temple for earth, Thiruvarur. Why we have two temples for earth? Because one is based on Shiva, another one is based on Shakti. Kanchipuram is based on Shakti and Thiruvarur based on Siva, Lord Shiva. So Thiruvarur, Mantalam, Putru, Puttidam Konda Peruman. You understand? So likewise, the temples, Thiruvarur and Kanchipuram, both of them are belonging to the earth. The earth means we have to thank Lord for having offered us the earth. So the significance of the Kanchipuram, the significance of Thiruvarur is we are looking at the Shivalingam, the deity, as the god of earth. As the god of earth. He has blessed us with the earth. So, whatever benefits we are getting out of the earth, we must be grateful and thankful to Lord Shiva. That is why these two temples have been prescribed by our ancient saints as Mantalam, Thiruvarur and Kanchipuram. Likewise, we can also, we have to thank the water. See, we cannot think of a life without water. The earlier civilizations, they only started at the banks of river. Wherever rivers are running, On the banks of the river, the civilization started. The old civilizations, if you go through them, you will understand that all the civilizations are based on the banks of rivers. So likewise, we must be very grateful to the benefits we are getting out of water. And how to thank water? Directly? No. The God who controls water is Lord Shiva again. Lord Shiva is the God of water. So to thank him for his contribution, for his liberal grace, for offering us the water for our life in this earth. So we thank him in the form of water. We go to Thiruvannamalai. If you are able to visit the primary deity, if you go over there, the Swami will be always surrounded by water. The Kaveri beds are very nearby, and so the water will be coming out of the spots always around the Shivalingam. He will be always in the coolness of water. If you, in winter times, in rainy days, if you just go to the main temple, you can feel that you have to stand on the water and worship him. Sometimes the whole deity will be immersed into the water. So the people claim that the Shivalingam is there near Thiral. Thiral means the collection, the makeup, the collection, the entity, near Thiral. So in Thiruvannamalai, Lord Shiva, the main deity, is in the form of water. So if you want to thank him, if you want to worship Lord Shiva, if you want to thank water, you go to Thiruvannamalai, thank him for offering you water for your life. So he is the form of water, he is the God of water. Whatever you claim, he is there for the grace of the water for our life. So there the Shivalingam is the notification or the personification of the benefits of water. What I am trying to say is that not all the main deities are having the same significance. The significance are different in different temples. That is what I am trying to emphasize. That is what I am trying to stress upon. The Shivalingam, the formless form, it may look alike wherever you go, but they don't signify the same thing. If you go to Kanchipuram, the main deity Shivalingam denotes the earth. If you go to Thiruvannamalai, the main deity, the Shivalingam, signifies the water. You understand? That is the difference we must understand. Okay, if you go to Thiruvannamalai, what is the significance? You just see. Not the same significance you are going to see. The whole mountain is Shivalingam. As we already explained, see the mountain. This is called by our Trinyana Sambandhar, ஞானத்திரளாய் நின்ற பெருமான் நல்ல அடியார் மேல் ஊனத்திருளை நீக்கும் அதுவும் உண்மை பொருள் போலும். See, it is ஞானத்திரள். Thiral, fire. As a matter of fact, the rock has been classified as igneous rock. Igneous rock. The geologists have classified the rock to be igneous rock. See the match? Okay, now we have to thank the third element, fire. The role of fire in our life, in our entire life, the role of fire, how we are using it, how we are getting benefits out of it. Fire in different forms. Without fire, you just think of the warmthness in your body. If you want to check whether somebody is alive or not, catch hold of his hand and feel the warmth. If it is very cold, you will be very doubtful. Is it not? The hand should be felt as warmth. If you have a thermometer, it should read 98.4. Around 98.4 at least. Is it not? If it reads 75 or 74, what will happen? The entire body should be warm. The blood is also warm. As a matter of fact, the blood will get colder blood. Suppose if you, out of fear, you feel fear, you are very much afraid, you will be chilled. The temperature of the blood will go down. The blood should have the warmthness. So the fire and the warmth, the warmth of your body, the temperature of your body is very, very important for your survival. So you have to thank for the fire also. As a matter of fact, our ancestors have indicated that there is a fire below our Mooladharam, the first fulcrum. It is called Mooladharam, the first fulcrum. There is a fire in there. That only causes that warmth of the body. The warmth of the body is caused only because of the fire, Moolagni. So it has to be raised up to the forehead by the yogis. By then it will become very cold. Okay, now the fire is very important out of the 5 elements. Fire, if you want to be warm ceremony, people will call it as warm ceremony. Cold ceremony, nobody will call. It's only, why it is called warm? Because life should be warm. Your look should be warm. Okay, and this mountain, this Tiruvannamalai, if you want to thank fire, don't directly thank the fire. Thank the Lord Shiva, who is the king of fire, who is the Lord of fire, who has offered us the fire, who has given us the fire for our life. So go to Tiruvannamalai. Only if you have the exact temperature, you will be active. If the temperature goes down, you will become inactive. You will be dull. So if you want to be active, you must have the correct temperature in your body. So in the form of fire, Lord Shiva is being prayed, or we are offering the prayers, we are performing the pujas to the Lord Shiva in the form of fire in Tiruvannamalai, Annamalai, Annalmalai, Sonamalai, Sonagiri. All these denote that it is a mountain of fire. It is a mountain of fire. Now coming to the fourth element, naturally the wind, air. Once again, it is very, very important for our survival. Without food, you can survive for even 7 days, 10 days. Without water, you can survive for 5 days, 6 days. People caught up in the ship without water, survived after 7 days and 8 days even. But without air, you cannot survive even in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Why 5 minutes? Without air, you cannot survive at all. 5 days? 3 days? No, 5 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minutes. You cannot think of it. Catch hold of your nostrils. Don't allow the flow of air into you. Naturally, your mouth will open. If you close the nose, then automatically the mouth will open and you let in the air. Okay, close the mouth. Close the nose. You can just see that in few minutes the ear will break open. The air will try to get into the eyes also, through ears also, because it is fierceful. So, wind, air is very, very essential for the survival of mankind. Not only mankind, any living thing. Any living thing. Should we not thankful? Should we not be grateful? Should we not render our thanks to the wind? How to make the thanks? How to express our gratefulness? How to express our thankfulness? Directly to the wind, air? No, it cannot understand because it is inanimated. It doesn't have any sense. Thank the Almighty, who is the God of wind, who is the controller of wind, who has given us the oxygen for our respiration. Look around you. The nature is continuously working as a factory to feed you oxygen throughout the day. How do you get the oxygen? Is there a factory there? No. The whole world is a factory. The whole forest is a factory. God has created the trees and other things and plants to produce oxygen for your respiration. The factory is going on working every blessed day. Think of one day leave. The entire mankind will collapse. Entire living things will collapse. The whole world will collapse. On one side, he is producing oxygen. On the other hand, we people, living things, are producing, polluting the existing atmosphere. So we must be very, very grateful to the wind, and in turn we must be very grateful to the Lord of Shiva, who has given us this element out of Maya. Where the earth came from, where the water came from? Where did the air come from? Where did fire come from? All things came from Maya. As a matter of fact, 3 forms of Ahankaram, they produced only these 5 elements. So all these things are made out of Maya. Maya is once again an inert energy. It cannot produce by itself all these things. Some animated thing should be there to drive the Maya. It should be capable of driving it, controlling the Maya, the controlling power, the capacity, capability. All these things are vested with the Lord Shiva, who is the controller of all the 5 elements. So thank Lord Shiva for his offering of, for his gift of the air. Go to Tiruchirapalli, which is the significance of air, the 4th Shivalingam. The 4th one, if we go to the main deities, the Karuvarai, the main primary deity's place, if you go over there, the lamps will be swinging here and there because of the air. The flames will be moving here and there in the air, indicating that air is circling there and imparting the information that God exists there in the form of air. So, God is in the form of air in Tiruchirapalli. If you want to thank God for his contribution, for his blessing of air, go to Tiruchirapalli and thank him. This is the 4th element temple, Tiruchirapalli, Katru, where Lord Shiva is worshipped as the controller of the wind or air. So we have seen Kanchipuram as the temple of earth. Once again, Thiruvarur as the temple of earth. The Sivalingam deity, the primary deity, indicates, denotes the element, the important element, earth element in Kanchipuram and Thiruvarur. For the second element, water, Thiruvannamalai, there Lord Shiva is in the form of water, Neerthalam. If you go to Thiruvannamalai, Lord Shiva is in the form of fire. He is worshipped in the form of fire. Instead of worshipping fire directly, worship Lord Shiva in the form of fire. That is how Lord Jnanasambandha, now our Guru Jnanasambandha, in his marriage, when he was asked to come around the fire in the yaga with his spouse, he thought the fire in the yaga, Gundam, he thought this is nothing but my Lord Shiva. It is nothing but my Lord Shiva. So the way in which you look at it, it does matter. It does matter. If you go to Thiruvannamalai, worship him in the form of water. If you go to Thiruvannamalai, you worship him in the form of fire. If you go to Tiruchirapalli, worship him in the form of wind. Then what is left behind? The space, of course. Naturally, what you think is right. Chidambaram is the place where the space is worshipped. In Chidambaram, the main deity is Lord Natarajar, who is performing the 5 functions of creation and then protection and then destruction and then shield and then gracing or blessing. All these things are done only by him. He is the authority of all these 5 primary functions. These 5 primary functions are affiliated to the 5 Bhutas or 5 elements. Creation, it conforms to the earth. So that is why Brahma is connected to the land. He is the god of land, Brahma. If you take water, God, Lord Thirumal is the god of water. He is always in the milk ocean. He has been significant, is only that he is a god of protection. In destruction, fire god Uruthiran. It has been affiliated with the destruction. And then shielding, they are Maheshwaran, Arunadal Sadasivar. Space conforms to, or it refers to Sadasivar. Sadasivar is formless form. Not only formless form, he is the bridge of form and formless states. So in Chidambaram, if you just look at it, if you just see the space that is called as Rahasyam, there will be a separate room by the side of Lord Nataraja, where the Lord Nataraja takes his place. Just by the side of him, there will be one screen. When it is lifted, you will be asked to worship, have darshan of space. Chidambara Rahasyam, they will be saying. What is there? There is space there, space. That space is the form of Sivalingam. Even though Ratnasabhavati is there, Sivalingam, but the real space, the real Sivalingam in Chidambaram is the Rahasyam. That is the form of Nataraja. Nataraja, he is in the form of space. So to make us understand, he takes a form of Nataraja by the side. As a matter of fact, the Sivalingam is in the form of formless form. There is Sivalingam, but is in the form of formless form. To denote that, Ratnasabhavati is there. So, if you just see the string of Vilvam, the Vilva leaves, in gold Vilva leaves, if you can just see that, it is called Chidambara Rahasyam. It is nothing but the space is the form of formless form. The space is called the Sivalingam. The space itself is called the Sivalingam. It is in the formless form. Here it cannot be seen by you. To make you understand, they have lit some lamps in the Karuvari and make you to understand that the God is in the form of wind there. Likewise, here the space is there. You are being asked to imagine yourself or consider yourself that there is a Sivalingam in the form of formless form. There is a Sivalingam. See, if you want to understand this concept, then you must go to Tiruperundurai. What happens in Tiruperundurai? Tiruperundurai, if you go to the main deity, that is the Moolavar, if you just see there in Tiruperundurai, if you just look at it, there won't be any Banam. Only the pedal, the base will be there, Avudayar. That is called Avudayar. Banam will not be seen there. They will put a cover, then only cover in the form of a Banam, so that you will understand that the Banam is there in the formless form. In the formless form, the Banam is there. It is there, but it is in the formless form. Likewise, the whole Shivalingam is in the formless form in Chidambaram. In Tiruperundurai, it is in the Aruva state. There is no Banam, but they will have a cover, they will put a cover, and on seeing the cover, you can just see that there is a Sivalingam seems to be there. No Sivalingam is there, no Banam is there. Only Avudayar will be there. That is why that the town is called Avudayar Koil. So, to make you understand, I am just citing that example. So, if you go to Tiruperundurai, the concept is entirely different. Everywhere, in every temple, the Moolavar, the primary deity, may be a Sivalingam, but the significance will be different, not the same significance. The significance of Lord Shivalingam in Kanchipuram is different from the significance in Thiruvannamalai. The significance in Thiruvannamalai is definitely different from the significance in Tiruvannamalai. The significance is surely, essentially different from the significance of this Kalahasti. The significance once again is different from Kalahasti in Chidambaram. Likewise, the significance we must understand whenever we go to any temple. If we are lucky, we will be able to worship the Moolavar with this significance. The people should be competent enough to give you the significance. For example, if you go to Kanchipuram, people will say this is Mantalam. Is it not? If you go to Chidambaram, people will be asking you to have darshan of Rahasyam Barugo. They will be asking you, why I should see Rahasyam? If it is seen, can it be called as a Rahasyam? It will be no longer Rahasyam if you have seen it. Till the time you see, it may be a secret. Chidambaram secret. Once you see it, once you understand it, once you are able to visualize it, then it is no more a secret. You understand? So, what I am trying to insist upon is that all Sivalingams are maybe looking alike. They may be looking alike, but they are not alike. They are different. Each one is having its own significance. Kanchipuram, its own significance. Thiruvarur, its own significance. Tiruvannamalai, its own significance. Any temple, its own significance. You go to any Siva temple, the Moolavar is not the same as the other one. It is entirely significant. ஒரு நாமம் ஓர் உருவம் ஒன்றுமில்லார்க்கு ஆயிரம் திருநாமம் பாடி தெள்ளையிடம் கொட்டா. That's how Manivasaka Perumal explains. In every blessed temple, the Moolavar is unique. The Moolavar is significant. If you are lucky, you will be able to understand the significance. If you are lucky, you will be having people to give you the significance. You will be able, with the significance known, if you pray, if you worship, your prayer will be meaningful. With that, I want to conclude this session with this, and the conclusion of the session will be done with the chanting of 5-lettered mantra 5 times. I request you to kindly follow me. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Tiruchirapalli. With this, we are continuing our lectures on the Shivalingam, the holy deities of Saivam. About Shivalingam, there are a lot of secrets, a lot of things to be discussed about Shivalingam. Here and there, we are just collecting some details and sharing. And we will be meeting once again in the coming Saturday. And in the meantime, I want to thank the Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan, who made this possible, who are not only sponsoring but also very keen in conducting such sessions in English, so that people with a little knowledge of Tamil may be benefited by knowing the various details and concepts of Saiva. So I have to thank them, and I may request you that you kindly follow us in these sessions, in English sessions. And if you are able to contact other peoples who may be willing to know the information, kindly share the information with them, so that they will be also benefited by viewing these sessions. With this, I am just concluding. We will continue our session in the next class, that is on 2nd October, Saturday. The time will be announced later. Thank you. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.